Okay, now that you have the Good Plan spreadsheet instructions open and this spreadsheet open on your computer, let's go ahead and begin to work with the spreadsheet. Let me give you a little instruction of how we will do this instructional video. You don't need to try to fill this out as I'm talking. What will happen is I'll go ahead and give you some instruction on each portion of it, on each sheet of the worksheet, and then you can stop. The DVD will stop. And you can go ahead and fill that portion out and then press play again, and it will go on to the next section and give you the next instruction. So the Good Plan is basically very, very simple. What we're going to look for is 5% of your gross income that we're going to begin to apply additionally to debt. And we're going to rank the debts that you have in terms of which ones we're going to eliminate first, and then apply the 5%, which we call an accelerator margin, to the first debt, and then when it's eliminated, then we're going to take the accelerator margin plus the amount we're applying to the first debt and apply it to the second debt until it is totally eliminated. And then we're going to take the accelerator margin plus all that we were applying to the first and the second debt and apply it to the third debt until it's completely gone. And so you can see that each time we eliminate a debt, we take the amount that we were paying toward that debt plus the accelerator margin, and we call that the roll-up. It means it's going to roll up to the next debt. So we're going to take that entire amount, apply it to the second debt, the third debt, the fourth debt, the fifth debt, and each sequential debt until we've actually eliminated all debt. And you will see that because we're taking the roll up from each debt as we finish it and applying it to the next one, that roll up becomes larger and larger and larger, so you have more and more money that you're using each month to eliminate the next debt. So let me just give you an example of that, and you have in your instructions an example of the roll-up, and I encourage you to just read straight through the instructions. I'm not going to go right through reading this part of it because I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but let me show you on a roll-up worksheet what this looks like. And you have this again in your instructions, in your spreadsheet instructions, but let's say we have 5 debts. And let's say that we have debt number 1 here, and we normally pay $100 toward this debt. Let's say our accelerator margin is $250. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the normal $100 that we normally pay to this debt and add the $250 accelerator margin to it, and we're going to end up with a total amount of $350 per month that we're going to pay toward debt number 1. Now, we're going to pay that until it's completely extinguished. When debt number 1 is extinguished, what we're then going to do is take the $350 that is from debt number 1 that we were paying, we're going to add it to the $80 that we pay on debt number 2, and so the 80 plus the 350 now equals $430 that we're now going to be able to apply to debt number 2. So we're now going to pay $430 every single month to debt number 2 until it's completely gone. When it's gone, we're going to take the $430 and we're going to add it to the $150 that we normally pay on debt 3 for a total of $580, which we're going to pay every single month until debt number 3 is totally eliminated. Now you can see we were only paying $150 before on debt number 3. Now we're paying $580 per month on debt number 3. So you can see that accelerator margin and a roll-up from the prior debts is going to make debt number 3 disappear much, much more rapidly. And then we're going to, when we totally extinguish debt 3, we're going to take that $580 and add it to the $120 we normally pay for debt number 4. And we're going to end up with $700 that we're going to be able to pay every month to debt number 4 until it's completely extinguished. And then we take the roll-up of the $700 and add it to the $90 that we normally pay for debt number 5, and we're going to end up with a total of $790 per month that we can apply every single month to debt number 5 until it's completely gone. And so you see, with taking the accelerator margin, adding it to the amount from the prior debt, the roll-up becomes larger and larger and larger, and you can see that by the time we get to debt number 5, when we're paying $790 per month every month, it becomes exciting to see how rapidly we can eliminate debt and make that completely go away. So that's basically the process of just taking 5% of your income, making it an accelerator margin, and begin to apply it to the first debt, the second debt, the third debt. So that's the strategy that we're going to use in the Good Plan. Now, there's some assumptions that are in the Excel spreadsheet, and you can read about those at the bottom of the spreadsheet instructions there on the first page. But now we're going to want to go ahead and begin to work with the spreadsheet. Now, let me give you a couple of cautions here. The very first thing is we're going to want to go to, I want to ask you to bring up the monthly income. Now, the way that you do that is at the bottom of your menu on your Excel spreadsheet, you are going to see several different little boxes. One will say monthly income. One will say living expenses. There's the monthly income one. We have living expenses one. I'll just put a red line just over it. Then you have debt. And over on the left-hand side, you have some little black buttons that you can push that will scroll across the screen, and so that you can get to the next one. You'll see that you have the very first one is monthly income, then monthly living expenses, debt, secured and unsecured, and then the next one after that is without accelerator and an accelerator. So those are all the various ones that are available. So we're going to start with the monthly income screen. Now let me read you a caution. Please don't try to modify any of the colored boxes that you find on the spreadsheet. And the reason is because those are boxes that are calculations made by the spreadsheet. So you don't have to do anything. The spreadsheet will add and subtract and multiply to make those calculations for you, and you can't modify those. So leave the colored boxes alone. And please do not attempt to modify any boxes on the without accelerator or accelerator calculation worksheets, as those entire worksheets are based on totals from the prior worksheets, and they're only used for tracking the effects of the changes that are made in the previous worksheets. Now, I think I mentioned before, but if I didn't, I encourage you to save 2 copies of this worksheet. Again, one we're going to work with right now, and then another one you can use for your monthly modifications of the spreadsheet. So that would be an important thing to do. Now, let's go ahead and begin to work with the monthly income spreadsheet. And what you're going to need to do to fill this spreadsheet out is you will need your income information. So pay stubs from work, paycheck stubs, any kind of income that you regularly receive. That's what we're going to log in the monthly income spreadsheet. So we're going to start with that. Okay, as you see, we have John and Jane Doe here, and let's just put some income in for John. Let's say John makes $3,656, and let's say that Jane makes $3,800 per month, just as some examples. All right, and so we see we have a gross number of $7,456 that Jane makes. And you can see as we scroll down to the monthly tithe and taxes, you're going to have to add the taxes in, and we've already pre-filled out several of these numbers here for you. But it will calculate the Lord's tithe. And so the Lord's tithe, you can see, is 10% of $7,456, or $745.60. So the Lord's tithe is already calculated there for you, and so that's a number that you can see. Now, if we follow down on down to the bottom, we have a total of tithe and taxes, $1,576.57. And that gives, if we take the gross income minus the total tithe and taxes, we have total available income then that can be used for expenses or debt, $5,879.43. And as you scroll on down, you can see the spreadsheet has calculated your yearly gross income, your yearly tithe and taxes, and your yearly net income. And so what you want to do is go ahead and in the same way as this example, you want to fill out your monthly income. You may have several different channels of income, so you may have wages that you earn. Maybe you have other channels of income as well. Maybe you have a home-based business. Maybe you have some royalty income or some rental income, other types of income. And so there are several boxes there. You want to go ahead and fill out all your monthly income and your estimated monthly taxes, and then you'll come up with these numbers at the bottom. So let's go ahead and stop at this point, and you fill those numbers in for the monthly income spreadsheet, and get those filled in yourself.